compete for more recognition. If successful, they could move on to the state and national levels for even more honors. In other news, Washington Attorney General Nick Brown leading a multi-state lawsuit filed challenging President Donald Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship, citing constitutional violations. The lawsuit, also joined by Arizona, Illinois, and Oregon, argues that the order contradicts the 14th Amendment, which has guaranteed citizenship to those born in the U.S. for over a century. The president's order, issued on his first day in office, denies citizenship to children who are born in the U.S. to non-citizen parents under specific conditions. Brown called the move unconstitutional and un-American. At a press conference yesterday, emphasized it had potential harm to Washington state and other communities. The Evergreen State College in Olympia would be abolished and replaced with a new healthcare training school under new legislation proposed by the state Senate Republican leader. Senator John Braun's bill transfers Evergreen's powers and property to the University of Washington, creating the UW Health Science Campus.
What we see at Evergreen is a need for long-term investment in capital and curriculum that's not responding to the needs of the community or the needs of the state. At the same time, we have a strong demand for more healthcare workers.
Braun believes this will help Washington manage the anticipated demand over 3 million healthcare workers needed in the next 5 years.
This is an exciting field, an important field, and a field that is constantly in demand of more qualified folks. If you look at the nursing programs in our state, they are always very, very hard to get into. There's way more applicants than there are positions for people who want to get into this profession.
Braun has noted that Evergreen has significantly declined in size in recent years. Washington would be the second state to set .05 as the threshold for impaired driving if a new bill becomes law in Olympia. Dan Frizzell explains.
Blood alcohol content of 0.08% is currently where Washington and most other states draw the line between legal and illegal for operators of motor vehicles. Some are tougher, none are more lenient. The only state with a .05% limit is Utah, where traffic accidents and fatalities dropped by nearly 20% the year after their current law went into effect. With steep increases in fatalities on Washington roads, some lawmakers in Olympia are now hoping to see similar results, and legislation is in the works. Representative Brandy Donaghy introduced that bill.
The two leading causes of accidents are excessive speed and driving while intoxicated. People may feel like they're okay, but the reality is that for every few steps of blood alcohol level, we see a significant increase in the chances that somebody will be in an accident.
Donaghy, a Democrat from Mill Creek, is vice chair of the House Transportation Committee. Her House Bill 1315, which has picked up a number of co-sponsors, had a public hearing in the House Community Safety Committee Tuesday afternoon. In Olympia, Dan Frizzell.
Looking for affordable home ownership on the peninsula? Mountain View Homes has you covered. Enjoy high-quality craftsmanship at 40% less than traditional homes. You heard me, 40% less. We offer full-service land packages from dirt to turnkey, delivering beautiful, efficient manufactured homes on your chosen site. With 3 convenient locations, including Carlsberg, we're here to serve you. Visit mtviewhomes.com today to learn more. Mountain View Homes, where affordability meets quality.
Hello everyone, Happy New Year. This is Leslie Robertson from the Port Angeles Chamber, and I'm here to tell you about some upcoming events. First of all, mark your calendars for Saturday, February 1st, where we'll host the 2024 Port Angeles Community Awards Gala at Field Arts and Events Hall. This is an evening where we'll celebrate some of the best of Port Angeles, and awards will be given for Organization of the Year, Emerging Business of the Year, Business of the Year, Educator of the Year, Young Leader of the Year, and Citizen of the Year. For more information about the awards, visit our website, portangeles.org. Then, on March 13th, we'll have the Clallam County Spring Job Fair at Burn Burton Community Center. Employers who would like to participate can register online at portangeles.org. Also in March, on March 22nd, will be the Olympic Peninsula Wedding Expo at Field Arts and Events Hall. For information about any of these events, please visit our website, portangeles.org. See you soon.
What's the misconception when considering new cabinets for your home?
I think a lot of people are under the impression that if they go to the box stores, they're going to pay a lot less for their cabinets.
That's Tony from Tim's Cabinets.
Going custom cabinets, you're usually paying about the same or less.
Tim's Custom Cabinets in Sequim. 40 plus years experience ensures your cabinet project will be done right.
Let me help make the process comfortable. And at the end, you're going to be extremely happy with what we've done for you.
Tim's Custom Cabinet Squim.
Here's your Newsradio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 43. Winds out of the east around 5 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies again tonight, 34. Slight chance of rain showers tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 47. Cloudy skies expected. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Friday, decreasing clouds by Saturday. Low 40s Friday, mid 40s by Saturday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 45 Sunday, 47 Monday, and 47 on Tuesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently 43.
A reminder that the North Olympic Library System inviting the public to a free online event tonight, Apollo 13, a successful failure. It's going to be at 6 p.m. via Zoom, so you can watch it right from your living room or your own home. You can join the presentation. Just go online to nols.org/Apollo13, nols.org/Apollo13. Apollo 13 astronaut Fred Hayes will share his firsthand experience in the 1970 mission that became a celebrated example of ingenuity and teamwork despite an explosion aboard the spacecraft. Hayes and his fellow crew members safely returned to Earth thanks to the capabilities demonstrated by that crew and mission support teams. Again, that starts 6 tonight via Zoom. Go to nols.org/Apollo13 to log in. Also happening tonight here on our air at 4:45 this afternoon, we'll have the pregame for our doubleheader of Peninsula College basketball, both the women's and the men's game tonight as they take on Skagit Valley College. Wally Archibald and the crew will have the call for both games. Again, 4:45 airtime here.
Ichiro Suzuki, CC Sabathia, and Billy Wagner have been elected to baseball's Hall of Fame. Ichiro was named on 393 of 394 ballots from sports writers, giving him the third highest vote percentage ever. The first Japanese-born player to go to Cooperstown, he amassed more than 3,000 hits, despite not making his major league debut until age 27. In fact, if you add in his Japanese league numbers, Ichiro actually had more hits in his career than Pete Rose. He won AL MVP and Rookie of the Year in 2001 for the Mariners. The rookie runner-up that season was Sabathia, the left-hander going on to win 251 games and strike out more than 3,000 batters, winning a Cy Young with Cleveland and a World Series with the Yankees. Both go into the Hall in their first year of eligibility, while Wagner, the fireballing closer, makes it on his 10th and final try. Wagner finished 8th all-time in saves and is the 9th reliever to get the nod and the first southpaw. NBA, the Nuggets nailed the 76ers 144-109, another triple-double for Nikola Jokic. Lakers licked the last-place Wizards, a triple-double for LeBron James. Washington has lost 11 in a row. NHL, the first-place Capitals squeaked past the Oilers 3-2 for their 5th straight win. Rangers shut out the Senators 5-0, 20 saves for Igor Shesterkin.
We had a great game tonight, so defensively, I think one of the best games in the season, and offensively too.
At the Australian Open, Novak Djokovic beat 3-seed Carlos Alcaraz in 4 sets to advance to the semifinals against Alex Zverev. The Joker is now just 2 matches away from his 11th Aussie title and a record 25th Grand Slam singles crown. That's Wednesday Sports.
Do you know when your septic system was last inspected? Clallam County Environmental Health keeps those records and can tell you. Pumping your septic and complete septic inspections by licensed professionals are 2 very different things. State law requires inspections every 1 to 3 years, depending on the system you have. Get more information about your septic system and inspection requirements by calling Clallam County Environmental Health 360-417-2258 or by logging on to clallam.net/septic.
School absences are often due to the absence of necessary resources. But when Communities in Schools is present, students are connected to the support they need to show up ready to learn. Visit communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
When purchasing a home or land, nobody wants to inherit existing debts or legal issues that could interfere with their property rights in the future. That's why it's important to work with a local title insurance professional and protect your property rights with Owner's Title Insurance. Olympic Peninsula Title has been protecting the property rights of Clallam County customers for over 40 years. Put our team of professionals to work for you. For title insurance and escrow services, opt for Olympic Peninsula Title.
Here's a look at what's happening. Clallam County Fair Royalty Coronation is this Saturday at the Clallam County Fairgrounds in the Expo Building. Doors open up at 12:30, coronation at 1 p.m. Come and witness the fabulous events on behalf of the royalty candidates and their sponsors. They also have a silent auction that'll start at 12:30 as a fundraiser for the royalty program. Port Angeles community players will be holding auditions for the Readers Theater production of The Man in the Green Truck by Sequim resident John Berthal. Auditions are set for 3 p.m. this Saturday at the Playhouse at Lawrence and Boulevard in Port Angeles on the main stage. Show performances will be the third weekend in March. The third annual Clallam County School Choice Fair is this Saturday at the Vern Burton Gym in Port Angeles from 11 to 2. Come explore all of the wonderful K-12 school options in Clallam County, from public school to private school to homeschooling. It runs from 11 to 2 Saturday at the Vern Burton. They'll have face painting and balloon twisting by Face Paint Seattle. A DJ will be there providing some music, and they'll have Pacific Shutterbug on hand to have a fun photo booth among all of the other booths. Did you receive a present that didn't quite suit your taste? Bring it to the Unwanted Gift Swap this Saturday from 11 till 1 p.m. at the Port Angeles Main Library. The event offers adults an opportunity to rehome clean, reusable, and portable items like clothing, housewares, books, games, and toys. Attendees are welcome to take items even if they do not bring any. Families invited to a special winter-themed concert featuring local musician Keith Apgar of the Harmonica Project. The free event will be this Saturday, 10:30 a.m. at the Sequim Library temporary location, 609 West Washington Street in Sequim. It's coming Monday. Mike McBride, a licensed psychologist, will have a program on inflammation, talking about the problems with that throughout our bodies. This will be at the Sequim Adventist Church, starting at 6:30 p.m. And that's a look at what's happening.
It's a new year, and Tri-State will be a new neighbor. Need a new roof or other exterior project? Tri-State is there for you every step of the way. Hundreds of 5-star reviews from very happy clients. Go to tristate.pro or call and we'll be out tomorrow. Start off the new year with an affordable new roof. 0 down, 0 interest, or payments for 18-month OAC.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
Looking to create unforgettable music memories at your next event? Black Diamond Junction brings the ultimate classic hits experience to life. From weddings and festivals to private parties and corporate events, our award-winning musicians know how to keep the party going with the songs you love. Dates are filling fast, so don't wait. Book Black Diamond Junction today and make your event the talk of the town. Visit blackdiamondjunction.com or find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Next hour on the Todd Ortloff Show, we'll spend the first part of the program a look back at 2024 and a look ahead 2025 with the Sheriff of Clallam County, Brian King, joining us. We'll also talk about Sunday's big Winter Ballet Gala that is happening at Field Arts Hall. And we'll also have a bacon bit that's coming up as well. So there's a lot loaded up for our program next hour on the TO Show. Right now, let's get a last look at business news before the markets wrap for the day.
Newsradio KONP Business. This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Host Hotels and Resorts wants someone else to be the host and is exploring the sale of more than 10 properties, including non-core properties like the Grand Hyatt San Francisco, W Seattle, and the Coronado Island Marriott in California. Sources tell Bloomberg the portfolio is valued at more than $1 billion. Procter & Gamble says its prices were unchanged, but its quarterly earnings still topped Wall Street estimates. The maker of Dawn dish soap and Tide detergent says consumers are trading up, either to bigger pack sizes or better quality items. In the latest Consumer Voted Awards announced by Newsweek and BrandSpark, there are several standouts. Pampers led in diapers. Chobani is #1 in Greek yogurt. In health and beauty, Olay was the best moisturizer. Crest leads in teeth whitening. And looking at home goods, Sealy came out on top for mattresses. Ninja dominates in blenders and air fryers. Stocks today up between 1/3 and 1.3%. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
Let's get a last check at the traffic this noon hour next. Brought to you by Leitz Farm Supply and by McCrory Carpet One.
Guess what's cooking at Leitz Farm Supply? Propane, and lots of it. And at just $2.49 a gallon, it's a hot deal. Got cylinders? Leitz does. From 20 pounds to 100 pounds, and soon from 1 pound to a massive 420-pound capacity. Refillable, exchangeable, whatever you need. So whether you're grilling or heating, swing by Leets, where propane and low prices are always in stock. Leets Farm Supply, fueling your next big thing.
Something astounding awaits you at McCrory Carpet One in Sequim, Port Angeles, and Port Hadlock. All McCrory Carpet One showrooms have been remodeled, revamped, reorganized, and are even better and more luxurious than before. Bigger displays, more options, updated styles, colors, and trends. McCrory Carpet One is the #1 place on the peninsula for any and all of your flooring needs. Check out their beautiful new showrooms in Sequim, Port Angeles, and Port Hadlock.
Newsradio KONP, traffic and roads.
Up to Clallam Transit Dispatch Center we go, and that is where Steve's standing by. One last check of the noontime roads and traffic for us. Good afternoon, Steve.
Hi there. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, we're doing pretty good on the commute. Things moving along relatively smoothly out there. It's busy in both Port Angeles and Sequim, but traffic is moving along pretty close to the speed limit. Just some small delays in the busier areas of town, but overall pretty easy drive around if you need to get out and about this afternoon. If you're on the highway between Port Angeles and Sequim, it's busy out there, but moving along at the speed limit. Beyond that, Hood Canal Bridge good to go with no scheduled marine openings, and state ferries also running on time. If you're headed out to the west end, 101, we're in good shape all the way out to the Forks area. Should be a good drive for you. Roads are in good shape, and not too heavy a traffic out there, moving along at the speed limit. So everybody enjoy your afternoon and be safe out there. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thank you, Steve. Gas prices jumping up in the past week, according to new data. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
With analysts blaming higher oil prices and cold weather that boosted heating oil demand, gas prices are heading up. The Energy Department reports the price of regular unleaded went up 7 cents a gallon in the past week to $3.11 a gallon. That's about 5 cents higher than a year ago at this time. The cheapest gas right now is along the Gulf Coast at $2.69 a gallon. The most expensive is in California at $4.21 a gallon on average for regular unleaded. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Arrests made in a high-profile break-in in Ohio. ABC's Aaron Katersky with the details.
A month after a burglary at the home of Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, 4 suspected gang members from Chile are under arrest.
Someone is trying to break into the house right now.
The Bengals were playing in Dallas at the time.
The bedroom has been ransacked.
Ohio authorities said the Chilean nationals were in the country illegally and behind a string of burglaries targeting multi-million-dollar homes. In the suspect's vehicle, police said they found an old LSU shirt and Bengals hat.
New York's governor moving to ban students from using cell phones in schools in that state. ABC's Ariel Reshef reports on that.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul says eliminating devices will help students concentrate on academics. We've seen cell phone bans in states like California, Ohio, and Florida. So far, experts say it's still too early to know definitively how effective these bans are. Some studies suggest improvements in students' mental health and academic performance, and of course, maybe even a reduction in bullying. Others show little to no change.
Up next, it's a Consumer Tech Minute from Kim Commando. And don't forget, Kim's full show about all things technology comes your way Saturday mornings, 9 to noon, right here on Newsradio KONP.
Remember this name, Stargate. It's the artificial intelligence that will literally change everything, including a cure for most cancers. I'm Kim Commando for NetSuite. Download the CFO's Guide to Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning for free at netsuite.com/Kim. Yesterday's announcement by President Trump, along with the biggest tech CEOs, is the most consequential technical project of the century. It will touch the lives of everyone. Stargate is bigger than going back to the moon, more important than going to Mars. Oracle CEO Larry Ellison, Sam Altman, the inventor and CEO of ChatGPT, and the CEO of SoftBank, Masayoshi Son, announced a $500 billion investment in the biggest project ever. This new AI will be used by everyone for literally everything. In medicine, Stargate promises cures and the ability to stop most diseases from happening. We cannot fathom all this means, but yesterday, the future was changed forever. Always be tech ahead with my free newsletter. Sign up at getkim.com. What does the future hold for business? Ask 9 experts and you'll get 10 answers. Rates rising or falling, inflation being up or down. Can someone please invent a crystal ball? Until then, over 41,000 businesses have future-proofed their business with NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud ERP, bringing accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all into one fluid platform. With one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth, giving you the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions. With real-time insights and forecasting, you're peering into the future with actionable data. When you're closing the books in days, not weeks, you're spending less time looking backward and more time on what's next. And speaking of opportunity, you can now download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning at netsuite.com/Kim. The guide is free for you at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim. netsuite.com/Kim.
John Tesh, and coming up, if you're feeling stressed, listening to nature sounds might be just what the doctor ordered. I'll share the most relaxing nature sounds to listen to next in today's Intelligence for Your Life Minute.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams winter sale and get 30% off paints and stains January 17th through the 27th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only, some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hey, if you're feeling stressed out, listening to nature sounds might be just what the doctor ordered. This is according to a joint study between Colorado and Michigan State Universities and the National Park Service. They found that listening to nature-made noise can decrease pain and stress and improve cognitive function and mood. And the study found that the two best sounds for health and mood are water and bird song. The sound of water is powerful because we need water to survive. So hearing water, like a babbling brook, has calming effects and reduces heart rate. And we find bird song relaxing because our ancient ancestors learned that birds sing when it's safe, and they get quiet when danger's near. So hearing bird song, it makes you feel safe. The research found that just 15 minutes will reduce blood pressure and boost your mood for at least 2 hours. I'm John Tesh with today's Intelligence for Your Life Minute.
The electric stove, the refrigerator, the vacuum. All advances in technology that had a profound impact on society. But the creation of one specific device brought the world together. And you're listening to it. With the invention of the radio, advertisers soon realized the power of marketing to a mass audience. And one advertiser took advantage of radio's true strength. On Christmas Eve, 1926, the first radio jingle was broadcast. And soon, the struggling Washburn-Crosby Company and their little cereal became the most popular brand in America. Since then, advertisers have used jingles and radio to stay at the top of your mind. And you have the chance to do the same. Make that lasting connection with your future customers. Call 457-1450 to find out how affordable radio really is and how easy it is to be a part of it. Radio Pacific, a multi-station radio network.
Since 1945, Newsradio KONP has been your source for news and community. We are Newsradio KONP Port Angeles Squim.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. House Republicans have formed a committee to investigate the committee that investigated the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
In a statement, the House Speaker says Republicans have already exposed the, quote, false narratives peddled by the January 6th panel. Now, a new House Judiciary Subcommittee will continue investigating the investigation. It will be led by Georgia Congressman Barry Loudermilk, who recently suggested that former Congresswoman Liz Cheney should face criminal charges for coordinating with witnesses who testified. In his final hours in office, Joe Biden issued preemptive pardons to committee members and staff.
Almost all the witness testimony to the January 6th panel were Republicans. President Trump's issued pardons for all the rioters, even ones who injured police. Condemning the move, the National Fraternal Order of Police and the Capitol Police Officers Union. ABC News confirming this.
Officials leading the nation's federal health agencies, including the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Food and Drug Administration, are being told to hit pause on their communications with the public. That's according to two sources who say the directive came from the incoming administration. They say it's not clear how long the pause will be in effect or whether urgent health information like disease outbreaks would be exempt.
ABC's Ann Flaherty.
ABC News Partners 538, the outfit that tracks opinion polls, says of the initial Trump executive actions, majorities approve of deporting immigrants charged with crimes of building the wall and sending the military to the border. The January 6th pardons are unpopular, as are reversing the TikTok ban and renaming the Gulf of Mexico. Deadly shooting in the cafeteria of Nashville's Antioch High School today. Police spokesman Don Aaron says the shooter was 17.
The individual wounded 2 other students, one of them fatally, before shooting and killing himself.
No word why it happened. You're listening to ABC News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Britain's Prince Harry scoring a huge legal victory. Rupert Murdoch's UK tabloids settling the prince's invasion of privacy lawsuit for an undisclosed sum of money and an unprecedented apology. Attorney David Shorborn in London reading a statement on behalf of the prince.
News UK is finally held to account for its illegal actions and its blatant disregard for the law.
Harry now one of those calling for a full investigation by police and lawmakers. Officials identifying the first U.S. border agent killed in the line of duty in more than 10 years. It happened about 20 miles south of Canada.
The shooting in Coventry, Vermont was first reported Monday afternoon.
Stage north of the area for an active police incident.
Emergency audio from Broadcastify. Customs and Border Protections identified the 44-year-old agent who was killed as David Malin. They say he was shot and killed following a traffic stop with 2 people in a car, one described as a German national on a current visa. That person is dead and injured suspects being treated at a hospital. Malin's family told the AP he worked security duty at the Pentagon during the September 11th attacks. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Cosmic waves that sound like chirping birds have been detected more than 62,000 miles from Earth. Scientists say they've recorded these plasma bursts before, but didn't expect to find them in a region where Earth's magnetic field is stretched out. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
This is Trevor Shumway from Firehouse Grill. We have some great news. We're dropping prices on our most popular items and not dropping quality. We're stubborn in wanting to provide the best quality possible. We hand weigh and hand smash our burgers daily, marinating our chicken in-house and hand breaded per order, hand scooping every shake ordered. And have you tried our smash burgers yet? One of the best things we've done at Firehouse Grill. I won't compromise on quality ever. Come check us out. Firehouse Grill Burgers and Fries on 8th Street.
Stop by Poway Treasure Trap. We're located in the front of Easy Pond in downtown Port Angeles. We have a fun selection of gifts to choose from. Everything from our best-selling leather journals to anime figures and fun pop culture gifts. We also have hard-to-find collectible swords for fantastic displays. And you've got to check out our adult humor section in our front mezzanine that's full of not safe for work gag gifts guaranteed to spark laughter. Easy Pond in downtown Port Angeles.
KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. 457-6600. 6 new roundabouts are coming to Port Angeles. The city's $2.1 million grant application for design and construction of the mini traffic circles at intersections along Laurel, 6th, and East 2nd Streets has been approved. Construction expected to begin next year and will be funded entirely through state grants. Congratulations, Kendall Adolph and Axel Swanson. They were honored for their essays on patriotism in the Elks Americanism Essay Contest sponsored by the Sequim Elks Lodge. Their work now advances to the Western District level with potential to compete nationally.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by Olympic Game Farm. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 43. Winds out of the east around 5 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected again tonight. Lows level off around 34. Slight chance of rain showers tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 47. Cloudy skies. Partly cloudy skies Friday. Decreasing clouds by Saturday. Low 40s Friday. Mid 40s by Saturday. Looking at the long range, 45 Sunday, 47 Monday, and 47 on Tuesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, it's 43 degrees.
It's the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP. Now, here's Todd.
And welcome to the program. First part of the show today, we're going to spend with Clallam County Sheriff Brian King, and we're going to take a look back on what he saw as 2024 through his department, and also a few goals that he wants to see perhaps happen in the upcoming year as well. So, Brian, Happy New Year. Thanks
Happy
for coming
New
in.
Year to you, too, and thanks for having me.
So, let's just start with that and have a little reflection, if you would, as to 2024, how it looked to you as the sheriff. I'm sure, everything didn't happen that you would like, but what were some of the highlights?
Well, we're really excited about our staffing on patrol. We were overcoming deficits of 6-7 deputies down. We currently only have one opening. We have 3 deputies right now on field training. Have already graduated the academy. We have one in the academy right now, and so it's allowed us to be a little bit more selective in filling some of those roles now. We're still having some challenges in the jail, but we're not losing ground, and so I credit our staff with being active in recruiting and retention, and then employing some additional marketing strategies. We've entered some contracts and used Meta to target certain audiences that may be interested in coming to work here in Clallam County. So we're going to continue to do that. That remains one of my 2025 goals, and as well as trying to find a way to be competitive with other jurisdictions.
And we've talked about this in the past. That's the reality of things. Is it also, though, somewhat of a reality that perhaps going into law enforcement in Washington State is not as blacklisted as it was maybe even a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I think we're coming through those several years, and I've been on the show before, and I've talked about how this personally hit home for me and my son's goals to get into the profession, and then watching his college career unfold and what he was seeing on campus, and making a decision that, boy, I don't think anybody's going to like me if I go into this profession. There's going to be a lot of challenges, and I don't want to go to prison, Dad, for doing something I didn't mean to do. So there are a lot of those challenges. I think we're overcoming, and I see that, I certainly see it within our staff and within several people that I talk with in our community, that they're seeing that pendulum shift, and it's swinging the other direction. They're seeing some support from the legislature, not to the same degree that we want. We're still fighting for getting a lot of what we lost, especially in that in 2021. But we're certainly in the right trajectory.
Competing with other agencies, though, you mentioned that's still a tough battle, isn't it? I mean, there's so few people and so many spots.
Yes, and so Thurston County, for example, and I know the sheriff down there, and I was looking at some of the recruiting bonuses that he was offering, and he went out to his community, got a 0.1% sales tax, and he's offering big incentives and very, very good pay. Some of those pays we just cannot compete with here in Clallam County, but those, when he starts advertising for 20 openings, I start to cringe a little bit. So that's occurring all over the state. And, I know that, my deputies have been without a contract it's been 8 months now. There's a number of reasons for that. One being that they chose to separate from the bargaining unit they were in and move over to a guild. And, those takes time to change representation. But we're seeing that come together. And I know that they're going to be sitting down with the county here real soon and negotiating contracts. And so, I really support them in getting good competitive wages because that just helps with our retention.
Did the incentives, though, help a bit, in these past couple of years where you've been able to offer some sort of a signing bonus or a stay-on?
Yeah, we really looked at the recruiting bonus, and I'm not sure that it made a whole lot of a difference. I believe the retention did, because it in many ways it felt a little bit of a gap to where, okay, if current staff are getting this retention bonus, but contracts and compensation aren't being addressed until the contract expires, then these are little stop gaps. And so I was very pleased that the county supported us in bringing those proposals forward. I think it did help, but you get to a point where you have so many vacancies, and how that affects morale and how that affects just, burnout, because these are very difficult jobs.
And I was just going through some of the notes you sent over earlier. That's part of your success, too. You're able to whittle down some of that overtime hours that had been plaguing things. Last year was better than the year before.
Yes, and so, this year, certainly it's only the very beginning, but I think we're just going to have another good year as well. And so, we're going to be whittling down some of that. One of which took a little bit of time, but we listened to our deputies, and we decided to go to a 4-11 schedule. It was something that I wanted to do for quite some time, but our staffing had to be at the right point to where the schedule would work, and we wouldn't sacrifice service to the community. And so we reached that goal. We implemented 4-11 schedules for our deputies, and this it's a really good selling point. We actually got a couple deputies back because of this.
Yeah, you're getting a 3-day weekend basically every week under that schedule, right?
Yeah, you're getting a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, 4-day, right.
4-day.
Yeah.
Now you owe some shifts back to the county, and so we utilize those as training days. So the deputies, we will schedule one training day a month where you come in, and there's under a lot of the new legislation, there's a lot of new training requirements. So that's how we're meeting those training requirements. So, our goal is to always be as efficient and professional and not sacrifice service to the public and get all the training that we need to get, because ultimately that's what makes us elite. And I'm proud to say we do a really good job.
All right, let's switch over to the jail. Let's talk about what happened there. You already referenced you still need some staff there. That's been a big issue, but you did get a few other things done there.
Yeah, so we've done a lot behind the scenes administratively, to really improve the environment, just overall jail appearance, and really trying to improve some efficiencies in the process. And so, it's wild to think, but we looked at, okay, how can we improve inmate behavior? And one of the conversations we had was, a lot of our incarcerated staff only have one TV channel that they can watch all day long. Well, I go, let's get new smart TVs and let's pull them in there. And really, it's, really minimal cost solutions. And as a result of that, we've seen, improvement in overall behavior. Not as much idle time, and then we've seen what we see as a significant improvement is reduction in kites, and those are requests or grievances from inmates, and so we've seen a 75% reduction in grievances. So so that's a significant decrease, which means people are more happy, which means people behave better in the carceral setting, which reduces, a lot of anxiety with staff. So it's all those things.
Is any of that, though, based on who's in the jail? I mean, who's being arrested, who's being able to be held too? Does that play into that? Just the demographics, I guess.
Oh, certainly. Where these where the TVs are located is not necessarily going to be in a cell where, let's say, some of our most challenging populations still reside, and a lot of our challenges are we can't commingle just because of behavior alone that would present a a safety risk to other inmates in the jail. So that still matters. Our population, which is interesting, I'm proud to say that we've been able to run the whole year without any booking restrictions. But so we're not turning anybody away. It's like if you need to put somebody in jail, you need to come in. There's always some one-offs as to if there's great medical needs, but largely we've not turned anybody away, and we ended the year with an average daily population of only 90 people. So those pre-pandemic numbers were running 130 or 140 people in jail at any one time. We just have not realized that again.
Interesting. Why is that? Any thoughts?
I'm scratching my head every single day. All the agencies utilize the Clallam County Jail. We see arrests. There's some, and we're going to do a little bit of studying on this as to where, how the therapeutic courts can play a role in this. And so is this the new norm? Because that's what we want to plan for. So we consulted with consultants about 2 weeks ago about a company called Burke, which has done some consulting on criminal justice system-wide in Clallam County. And we've asked them to come back in and kind of take a look at not just populations, but costs associated and workflow throughout the whole system. And it's an important time of year to do that because we have criminal justice contracts that are up for renegotiation with our two cities. And so the timing is perfect, but it's also like, a consultant like this will give us a roadmap of where we need to go next with services.
I want to talk about the medical side of things in the jail too. That's been a big, that's a huge expense. It's one of the things I know that from the budget, you have to provide nurses, you have to provide medical attention there. Tell us a bit about that, because you did some significant changes in the past year.
Yeah, so 2024 was a big year, jail medical. It was a good move for us. It was a move that we didn't expect to do, nor was it on our list of goals to accomplish, but the results have been tremendous as far as saving taxpayer dollars while improving medical services in our jail. And so, coupled with a project that we learned about at the state level that began in Medicaid transformation, early on in the year, we made a decision as a staff that we wanted to be a part of a transformation project and look at how we can recoup the lion's share of medical services we're providing, plus, again, improve our medical services. So we're in a project, it's Medicaid transformation 1115 2.0. It changes the names every single day. And, we were able to bring, as soon as I looked at this and I said, this is something that we need to do, the first thought came to my mind was Rich Meyer, who's worked a number of projects for the county over many years. I'd worked with him in the past and just happened to know his resume, and he's a former Orange County jail administrator, and asked him to share his expertise and help us be part of that transformation. And he's been more than happy. He's actually became like the state subject matter expert through the Healthcare Authority, which is now making me a little upset at how Clallam County and our jail can be leading the state right now when you have state DOC and all of the others. So it's like, boy, we're working so far ahead in our implementation project that the Healthcare Authority is actually falling behind on their financial obligations and letting us move our project forward. That's what's upsetting me. It's not that, hey man, we're taking the lead on this. It's like you're making us pause in this implementation project because you're not keeping up with how quickly we're running it. So, but our goal still is, and we're going to do a presentation to the commissioners on Monday. But our goal is to go live with Medicaid July 1, which is the HCA has told us that. And we're going to continue to press forward and hopefully make that a reality, because it's really a game changer, both financially and just the improvement of pre-release services for our incarcerated folks.
And you're able to bring in you've got direct control now on all of this as well, in that you're not using contracted labor to provide these services, correct?
Yeah, so right now these are all county employees. We believe that maybe through this transformation project they'll offer some telehealth. But we are hoping as we go through this project and we look at services that we the county can be reimbursed for, because we're required to provide 100% necessary care in the carceral setting. And what that looks like is the minute we arrest somebody, they walk through the doors of our jail, their Medicaid benefits are turned off. Nor can we look at somebody who's Medicaid eligible and get them up in Medicaid. It's just it all stops. So this part of our booking process now, when somebody comes into our jail, is going to be that assessment: is do you have Medicaid? Do you qualify for Medicaid? All these things, and get them geared up on Medicaid. And we believe that just looking at previous data from years past, that 80% of our population will probably qualify for Medicaid.
Yeah.
And so we expect significant savings, improvement of services, and true transitional reentry programs that have, with that turning of Medicaid off, folks who do want to go to treatment the minute they're released have to wait for those benefits to be turned back on. There's always a delay. It's easy to turn them off. It's not easy to turn them back on. And then that's where we see people falling between the cracks, not showing up for appointments,
right?
And with the overall goal of just reducing recidivism.
Yeah, and I was going to say, some of that, if we've talked about this in the past, that is directly reflective of they've got medical issues going on, or they've got some sort of an addiction thing that's happening, and that's what's causing them to break the law.
Absolutely. And I mean, if in a perfect world, if we were able to turn lives around, we would be without a job, because 90% of the crime that is being committed in our county is as a result of addiction. It's substance use disorder. It all intermingles and it ties together. And if you can make significant improvements in access to care, which is just it's been mind-boggling to me, how we've as a society we haven't had who made the rule that counties and the state and everybody you just own everybody's medical care when they enter, and then you don't give them the opportunity to turn it right back out and go out and get the help that they need. I just think it's a travesty, and people need to be healthy too in order to start a path to recovery.
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen with many people in my career, a number of different ways, but with a lot of the changes in legislation, with not it's no longer felony to possess dangerous drugs, so folks aren't incentivized to enter into a therapeutic court like drug court. I mean, this is the only alternative that we have now, because I've seen a gradual decline in public safety and the general health of our we call them frequent flyers into the jail, because of the lack of incentives in changing your behavior and getting healthy and going to treatment. Because it's really fentanyl is a really nasty drug. It takes control over you, and in order to be successful in recovery, medication is absolutely needed. It's not the days of cold turkey.
Right. Yeah.
That gets you there. So fentanyl's an ugly, ugly drug.
All right. Before we run out of time, let's scoot ahead. A lot of, I think, your goals moving ahead are based on some of the very things you've talked about. You alluded to most of what you started or began to have as accomplishments in 24, I think are going to play out as goals you want to continue into 25. Yeah. We got a lot accomplished, especially over the past 2 years with body-worn cameras to medication for opioid use disorder. We certainly made, some good improvements in recruiting and retention. Online reporting is working out well. If you have a CPL,
You don't have to show up in person at the sheriff's office anymore to renew it. We've implemented a lot of efficiencies into the overall operation. Our digital forensic lab has really, one of the sheriffs told me the other day that absent the state patrol's lab, he thinks we've got the best lab in the state going, and we're solving a lot of crimes because of it. So
and not having to rely on the state lab, which is just absolutely slammed, right?
Yes, yeah. And so the turnaround for us might be a month, where we were experiencing 9 months to 12 months turnarounds, and cases fall apart, and it's just, it's frustrating. So I'd like to see moving forward. We're in an accreditation year, so we're being accredited in both corrections and patrol. So that's what my whole staff, especially command staff, is working on right now, is that reaccreditation process. We hope to be reaccredited here in a couple months. We have a big meeting on it this afternoon, but we're all getting all our ducks in a row for that to occur. And then what's on everybody's mind is the EOC project and getting a joint public safety facility.
And it's still online.
I was in a 2-hour meeting this morning. We've worked hard over the past 4 weeks to really look at what the budget was for the project. We know what the budget is for the project, but our design architects, we're about $10 million over budget. And so we went through a pretty extensive exercise, and we're right back at that budget point. And so we have a little bit more work to do. We have to look at some calculations into the soft costs of the project and just make it a project that is financially viable, and that includes moving some grants around. But I'm optimistic. I wasn't so optimistic about a month ago, 6 months ago. Maybe it was the last time I was on your show. I had some doubts, but both the city and the county team came together, and we had to make some tough decisions. But we made cuts to where the center would still be meet the goals of what we're trying to accomplish here. So,
and no fear really at this point. I mean, you mentioned having moved some grants around, but that was one of the other things, some looming deadlines about getting things under design in time.
Yeah, so we feel pretty safe with our state commerce grants. Those are relatively easy to get some extensions on. We're actively working on our FEMA grant. And what's interesting is that we have FEMA grants coordinator, works remotely, lives right here in Clallam County. So it's nice to hey, I want to take you to lunch next week and see how we can make sure that we can change the scope of the grants. So we have a plan for everything. We believe it's a viable plan. We are really pushing back on our design architects to get us bid ready documents to build this thing, and that's where we're at moving forward.
All right. I have a feeling we'll be talking more about that in the coming months with you, right?
So,
All
yes.
right. Lots going on. Lots of things have been, moving parts that continue to move in the sheriff's office. Brian, it's great to talk to you. Thanks for coming down and sharing a little bit about what 24 looked like and what 25 your hope is going to happen here in the short and longer term in the coming year.
Yeah, my pleasure. And it'll be interesting to see what happens during this legislative session. And heck, my goals and objectives might all change.
Well, we'll talk to you next month.
That's perfect.
There you go. All right. Brian King, he's Clallam County Sheriff. We're going to take a break. Be back with more in just a moment.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP.
I understand that as our world becomes more automated, receiving personalized service from a real person is more meaningful than ever. I'm Dan Shappy, and as a farmer's agent, I know a thing or two about how to help you select the insurance you want so you can
protect what matters most.
Call 360-681-0696 to learn more and chat with me, a real person and experienced farmer's agent, today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Hello, this is Amanda Huff with Swim Valley and Harper Ridgeview Funeral Chapels. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about a new, exciting, and environmentally friendly development in the funeral industry. It's called natural organic reduction, or simply terramation. Perhaps you've heard of it. Terramation is a process in which the body, after death, is returned to the earth in a carbon-neutral, eco-friendly manner. The process takes place in a controlled environment, and all that remains is a natural, odorless, compost-like material. If you'd like more information about terramation and advanced planning, call us today at Harper Ridgeview in Port Angeles or Sequim Valley Chapel in Sequim, and one of our knowledgeable and caring funeral professionals will assist you in answering your questions. Harper Ridgeview and Sequim Valley Funeral Chapels, because your loved ones deserve the best.
The new year gives us a fresh start, but at Wilder Auto, we remain committed to that old-fashioned Wilder Advantage service. Every used vehicle we sell has been professionally inspected and stamped with the Wilder Advantage 5-star grade. Lower cost of ownership and peace of mind is what keeps our customers coming back. So the next time you're in the market for a new or used car, truck, SUV, or van, we'd love a chance to earn your business. So stop by and see us. We're 24/7 at wilderauto.com.
Does your Happy New Year come with happy news of a baby on the way? At Olympic Medical Center, our labor and delivery team gives moms a birth experience they'll cherish. Choose from experienced obstetricians or certified nurse midwives to tailor your birthing experience to you and your baby. Labor and delivery at OMC, a delivery designed with you. Learn more at olympicmedical.org/baby.
The third annual Clallam County School Choice Fair is on Saturday, January 25th at the Vern Burton Gym. From 11 till 2, come explore all of the wonderful K-12 school options in Clallam County. Public school, private school, homeschool, and online. Face painting and balloon twisting by Face Paint Seattle. DJ Martinez will provide the music, and Pacific Shutterbug will have a fun photo booth. Fair sponsored by National School Choice Week and hosted by Olympic Christian School. See you this Saturday for the third annual Clallam County School Choice Fair.
Huge savings are going on now at Jim's Pharmacy. The Golden Technology lift chairs are on a BOGO deal. That's right, buy one, get one 40% off of lesser or equal value. That's an almost unbelievable savings. Free delivery and setup within the Port Angeles city limits Monday through Friday, and Sequim city limits on Tuesday and Thursday. The BOGO 40% off equal or less value Golden Technology lift chairs is for a limited time only at Jim's Pharmacy, behind the Port Angeles Post Office.
Have you been searching and searching for anyone to install, repair, or replace your windows? What about looking for someone to install a new exterior door? And what about a skylight, or a new glass shower enclosure, or even a glass railing system? It can be hard, if not near impossible, to just get a call back. We at Hartnagel Building Supply sympathize with just how difficult it can be to get fast and dependable glass services. It's why we created our newest division, Hartnagel Glassworks. With over 80 years of combined experience, our team is ready and excited to help you on your next project. Whether it's big or small, residential or commercial, installation or repair, we can pretty much handle anything related to glass. Contact us today at 360-417-8388 or at hbsglassworks.com. Angeles Millwork and Hartnagel Building Supply, building homes, building community since 1906.
Welcome back, and to spend a few minutes talking about a really special show that is coming up this Sunday. It is a Winter Ballet Gala, and Gala is, I think, putting it lightly because it's a quite collaborative effort between the Port Angeles City Ballet. We've got folks coming in from out of town, from Juilliard, from the English National Ballet, Pacific Northwest Ballet, and then we also have musicians that are involved from the Port Angeles Symphony Orchestra. And one of the people that is involved in putting it all together is Kate Robbins, who's we were just talking before we put on. I mean, this has been a show that has been literally years in the making because this was supposed to happen in the pandemic.
It was, yeah, 5 years ago.
So let's talk about what is going to happen on Sunday now that you're finally here.
For sure. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. I'm really glad to be here. It's been 5 years in the making, this collaboration. Jonathan Pasternak, the conductor of the symphony, and myself are so excited to finally be bringing this to fruition. You're correct. In March of 2020, we were set to go on stage with, great guests from out of town and the symphony, and we were literally doing tech on a Thursday night. And at that point, the rumors that the pandemic had pretty much set in for all of us, and we kind of looked around and knew we don't think the show's going to happen. We have a feeling that it's going to get canceled. And sure enough, Saturday rolled around and the whole world shut down, and we never saw the show happen.
Wow.
So we lost that whole show, all the investment in it, and of course now we're back to normal, things as usual. And Jonathan and I got together this summer and said, hey, I think this is the year. Let's try to make this happen again. And so as soon as we put the word out, people wanted to be involved in the project right away. So we were very excited.
Well, you certainly have developed quite a program here in general, just for our community. It's amazing what happens through that. And your connections that you have in the ability to bring in some terrific special guests, I think is a lot of why this happens and why people get excited to get involved.
Sure. I mean, that's something I was really excited to bring to the area. My history of being involved in the professional ballet industry, and having the contacts to pick up the phone and call some people and beautiful companies around the world and in the U.S. and being able to say, we're putting on this great event. Can you please come perform for us and bring high level of culture to the region? That's really what Port Angeles City Ballet was formed for, so that we could have a vehicle to showcase these artists and bring them in, and having the chance for our local dancers who are training here to perform live with the orchestra is a really different experience, because we perform to canned music for the most part. But having the high school where we can fit the orchestra in there and then have this beautiful live dance is something our dancers here will really only get once in a while. So it's really special for them.
I talked with Jonathan a couple of weeks ago. He said, we're getting the pit together. Well, it's a formative, it's the first 5 rows in the auditorium.
I think they're getting the pit together right now. Yeah, they are. They're out there at the theater at the moment.
But this is happening up at the high school.
Yes.
So describe kind of what the show will be. And as you just alluded to, there's going to be live music with this, which is very unique in this day and age, really, when you go to a ballet, especially in a small town.
Yes, exactly. Jonathan and I really wanted to program the show around what was possible to feature the best variety of live music programming. So we have, a selection of Chopin and Beethoven and Saint-Saëns, and then, of course, Apollo, which they're featuring in their season. So I went and solicited some choreographers that I knew might be open to using those pieces. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of arranged it that way first. Some choreographers from New York, from Vancouver, choreographers from Oregon Ballet Theater, and we got some licensing from a choreographer who was formerly from New York City Ballet. So they all sort of came on board and said, yes, we would love to choreograph to this music, or you can use my piece that has this music that you can play live. And so that's how we put the program together. So it's a mix of the symphony playing some things they've already done this season, but adding ballet onto it. And then some unique pieces that are going to be played by James Garlick and Paige Roberts-Malloy from Music on the Straight. They're coming in as featured violin and piano soloists, which we're very excited about.
Yeah. So you've got you've got guest dancers, guest musicians.
So much collaboration. We were just joking writing the schedule for it that we're having to notify 12 different organizations that are all coming together in one day that have never met before. Yeah. They're literally going to meet on Saturday, 24 hours before the show, and put it together.
Well, that's crazy, right?
How do you feel about that's show business.
Yeah, that's true. The show's you're gonna it will come together because the magic always happens.
It will, and
right?
professionals are used to that. They're used to flying in a new time zone. We have 2 artists flying in from London. They're on there, and I think they're in the air still right now. Mm-hmm. And they'll get here and have to acclimatize to the time zone and just get ready to dance. And yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
All right, for the absolute lay person out there in ballet world and in any of this, if they came, what will they see? What are they going to describe the show, if you will?
Yeah, the main dance pieces. We have a few beautiful standalone symphony pieces, but the show is going to open with Dance Wise from a beautiful piece by Danielle Rowe, who's the director of Oregon Ballet Theater. It's a piece for 5 women. It's called Number 5 in homage to Chanel Number 5. It's a very empowering women type of piece. Beautiful music by Camille Cesson, violin solo. So it's a quintet for 5 women on stage. Gorgeous piece. Starts with that. We move into a beautiful duet choreographed by Alexander Anderson, who is a dancer with Netherlands Dance Theater, one of the foremost contemporary ballet companies in the world. And that's going to feature the Juilliard School coming in, combined with some of our dancers here. We actually flew our dancers from Port Angeles to New York over December to learn it at the Joyce Theater.
Wow. What an experience.
What an experience for them, right? It was so wonderful.
Nice.
And so for them to meet up again this week, they start rehearsal tomorrow. That's a beautiful duet set to Chopin Nocturne Number 8, which many people will be familiar with if they know their Chopins. And then moving on, we have a huge ensemble piece set to Arvo Part's Fratris. Very moody cello piano piece. And that's choreographed by Josh Beamish, who is a New York choreographer, celebrated choreographer, has done a lot of work with American Ballet Theater, Royal Ballet. So he came to Port Angeles January 1st to 5th, and the dancers learned that piece in 20 hours.
Wow.
Here locally. And so they've rehearsed it for 4 weeks. That's a huge, gorgeous piece with 25 dancers, pas de deux, ensemble dancing, very lustrous violin and piano. And then going into the second half of the program, we have a gorgeous duet by 2 of our local dancers, Coppelia Pas de Deux, a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old, beautiful piece. And then a pas de deux from the Pacific Northwest Ballet, El Macy and Dylan Walder coming to do Benjamin Millipede's Appassionata, which is a Beethoven sonata, gorgeous romantic pas de deux, and we finish with Apollo, which is another ensemble piece. And if you know Apollo, it's just such an iconic piece of Stravinsky music, and when you get live dance with it, it just totally transforms the experience. Okay. So I'm so excited about the Stravinsky piece closing the show with our 2 guests from English National Ballet who are coming out, and we've set all of that material on English National Ballet over Zoom. So we had no live rehearsals with them, so I had to do everything over video and Zoom with them, and they're coming in to meet the dancers in the ensemble tomorrow.
I guess,
that's a show summary for you.
I love it. Thankful for technology, but yet, that's gotta, so that's very interesting. Yes, people, this is just going to be a grand exposure, I think, might be a good way to put it for all different
yes, it's a potpourri. We tried to put everything in the program that we felt people would love to see. Some people love the classical and the tutus. Some people love the modern and then the contemporary. There's a little bit of something for everyone to sort of, to give everyone a different sense of what classical and contemporary ballet, the contrast can be on stage.
All right. Tickets are still available.
They are.
And you can get that through pacityballet.org.
Mm-hmm. And on our Facebook page as well, we have a direct link, yes.
All right. And this is going to be 2 p.m. this Sunday is the show. You won't want to miss it. It's going to be a great experience. And tickets start at $25 and go up $75, I think we were.
Yes, $25 to $75. Yeah. And you can get them at the door as well.
All right.
Yes.
One last note, though. For your students, this is an incredible experience. I mean, this is beyond anything that they normally would ever get. I mean, this has been, I can only imagine.
Yeah, we were just talking about it last night. The kids were saying, what happens, when we're on stage and the tempo's different, do you want us to, I said, that's a good question. I said, you're going to feel the tempo's not the same as the recording. This is going to be an adaptation period for you as an artist to be on stage and learn what it's like to get your cue from the conductor and have to really be in synergy with the orchestra. And so I'm excited to just see how they feel on stage and their reaction. The learning experience, like you said, it's going to be for them to have to adapt like a professional dancer would have to in that situation.
You probably can attest to this, though. The energy and the excitement that will come from them doing that to a live orchestra is going to be something they're going to love.
It's otherworldly.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, there's a powerful experience when the curtain goes up and the live energy from strings is flowing through your body, and it's not just a recording. It's organic. When you're playing with live music, those sound waves are organic, and it's such a transformative experience as a young dancer when you experience that, and it can make you get really addicted to it. You're like, okay, I want to do that all the time.
Now there's the risk is like, okay, now we got to go back to the can stuff. That that gets to be a
sure. But I think it will let them know, like, this is what it's like to be in a real company.
Yeah.
If I was in a professional company, I would get to experience this all the time, and it's a privilege, so they know not to take it for granted.
All right. Get your tickets now. You won't want to miss it. It's a Winter Ballet Gala that is happening Sunday at the Port Angeles High School Performing Arts Center, also known as the Auditorium, 2 p.m. Go to pacityballet.org. You can also find them on the Facebook page, and they've got links there to get tickets as well. And Kate Robbins, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Todd. Thank you so much. We're so excited.
You're doing great things with your organization and your company. It's terrific.
Thank you. We
have
appreciate
you guys
it.
in town. All right, we're going to take a break and wrap things up right after this.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP.
I understand that as our world becomes more automated, receiving personalized service from a real person is more meaningful than ever. I'm Dan Shappy, and as a farmer's agent, I know a thing or two about how to help you select the insurance you want so you can
protect what matters most.
Call 360-681-0696 to learn more and chat with me, a real person and experienced farmer's agent, today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers, Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Attention pizza fans! Score big with Pizza Hut's large pizza carryout deal for just $9.99. Order on the app or at pizzahut.com today and get a large one-topping pizza for $9.99. Whether you're ordering online or picking it up in store, this delicious deal is only here for a limited time. Grab yours today on the app or pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Rev up your engines, Port Angeles. First Race Car Wash is where premium Shell gas meets the ultimate car pampering experience. Swing by our convenient location for an upgraded car wash experience that'll leave your ride gleaming. Fuel up with Shell's finest and treat your car to the TLC it deserves. First Race Car Wash in Port Angeles. You're a winner every time when you've got that first race shine.
Hi, this is Clallam PUD, and we have a few tips to help you through the winter and its potential for power outages. Be prepared by checking your flashlights and purchasing extra batteries. Stock up on non-perishable food and water. Have a plan for any medical devices that require power or medications that need refrigeration. If your power does go out, first check your breakers. If they're okay, then report the outage to us by phone or by using our Smart Hub app on your mobile device. Visit clallampud.net for updates, to view our current outage map, and for tips and resources on outage preparation and safety.
Port Angeles City Ballet presents Winter Ballet Gala, Sunday, January 26, 2 p.m. at the PA Performing Arts Center, live with the Port Angeles Symphony and concert soloists from Music on the Straight. Don't miss this one-time ballet and orchestra collaboration and rare chance to see guests from the English National Ballet, Pacific Northwest Ballet, and the Juilliard School perform on the Olympic Peninsula. For tickets starting at $25, call the box office today at 360-809-9394 today or visit pacityballet.org.
We're the talk of the peninsula. News Radio KONP, Port Angeles Squim, FM 101.7 and 101.3. A Radio Pacific station.
And welcome back to our program. It's Wednesday, and our final segment, always a bacon bit. That's when our own Amanda Bacon sits down with some famous folks to talk about what's going on in their world. And this one, kind of special because this person lost one of their homes in the big fires in Los Angeles. This week, Amanda sits down with the angry therapist and author of the new book, Break Up on Purpose, Mr. John Kim.
Good morning, Mr. Kim. How are you?
Good morning, Amanda. I'm doing okay. We're surviving the fires here in California. So
I wanted to start this thing by saying I'm just praying for you and everyone down there. I just can't even imagine what you're going through, and I'm just happy to hear your voice today.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk breakups.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk another disaster, I guess.
Yeah.
So how did you become the angry therapist? That's really what I want to know.
I went through a breakup myself, a divorce about 20 years ago, and left with nothing but a pillow, had no friends, no life, no sense of self, purpose, had a lot of time as I was healing my broken heart. And so I started a Tumblr blog, and I was becoming a therapist at the time. And I just thought it's funny that a therapist was angry. But now in looking back, I realized it was my way of humanizing myself.
Yeah. Was that hard for you? I mean, coming off of a breakup, I feel like anytime I've had a breakup, I want to close myself off. I don't want to open myself up to vulnerability. And that's exactly what you did and have made a fantastic career for yourself. Was that hard?
Yeah, it's very hard. But when you have nothing, you have nothing to lose, right? And so, for me, it was it was easier than, say, if you're going through a divorce, you have children, you share property. If there's a lot of complicated layers, and let's say your partner is toxic and is stalking you, and there's those type of breakups too. But I was really fortunate in that my breakup was clean. It was just very sad and painful, but I didn't have anything that made it toxic or dysfunctional or complicated.
When did you realize that this blog that you were starting had really caught fire?
I started getting a lot of followers, and this is before social media, right? And so I use this to kind of kill time and to use it as a therapeutic tool. But I think many related to a broken heart because we're human. And I think they saw, this kind of crazy Korean American dude on a Harley who's a therapist with a t-shirt, jeans, talking about his feelings. And this was 20 years ago. And so this is before, influencers and stuff. And so I think it was different than what we used to see as far as what a therapist should look like: shirt and tie, nondescript office, and, those silver balls and bad paintings on the wall. Yeah. And I met people. I was meeting people at coffee shops. And so there was something about that. I think that people enjoyed the way I showed up.
I think the reason I connect with you so much is my dad was a family counselor, and he also met at coffee shops and pizza places and different places. And very much, it's a very disarming feature. And I think it really helps people actually open up when you take them out of a clinical setting. Now, clinical settings are great for other things, but especially with kids and stuff like that, it just really made them open up.
Wow, your dad was a pioneer. I mean, we're talking, this is what, 80s maybe?
This was in the 90s, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Really, yeah, I know. Pretty great. So you have several different breakups that you talk about, and two of them are the big one and the D word, the divorce. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between the big one and divorce? Because I feel like that's a pretty big one.
Right. They can overlap. So I have 8 different breakups that we all grow through. And, like love languages, it doesn't have to be just one category you fall into. You can have elements of a lot. The big one to me is usually young love. It's when our hearts were powdered snow, the first imprint. It's the love that we compare other relationships to. But there's a distortion there because a big one, usually like in our 20s, maybe college, you're playing it back through the eyes of that person, right? So it's like when you go back to your elementary school and you're like, look how tiny those chairs are. But when you play back those scenes, you're like, you don't see those chairs as tiny. And so because of that distortion, I think we're always trying to trace the big one. We think that was the person that got away. And that's not true because, when you were 20, you didn't have the wisdom and knowledge and, the understanding of love as you do now.
So talk about your new book, Breakup on Purpose. I don't think anyone goes into a relationship thinking, okay, I'm going to give it 6 months and then I'm out.
Yeah. The purpose is misleading. I'm not saying to break up, fast or break up if things aren't going well, just because it doesn't feel right. I actually think people don't work hard enough these days. I think people don't roll up their sleeves and stay in a relationship. I don't think they commit. I think we leave way too soon. Part because of culture, swipe culture, and on demand and instant gratification. But Breakup on Purpose is about the 8 different types of breakups, and it's about turning your breakup into a breakthrough.
How do you do that? I mean, like I said, I have one big breakup, in my life thus far, and hopefully that was the last one because I'm very happy currently. And so there's this one big breakup that just shattered and everything. And I still find that I am reserved in some aspects of my life with my new partner. How do you let go of the foibles of the past and use that to propel your future?
Yeah, I think it's letting go seems so simple. I don't think it's about letting go. I think it's about revisiting the black box to see why the plane went down. I think it's about healing. I think it's about forgiveness, compassion, understanding of self. So I think there's a whole journey involved. I think a lot of people are easy to say that, oh, get over this person, or, you got to let go of this. And that's easier said than done,
Yeah. What is your advice to people who, you were talking about how you feel like it's a little too easy these days to just kind of throw in the towel? What is your advice to people who are in the middle of discomfort in their relationship? Not a bad relationship, just discomfort. What is your advice to them to keep going and to really cultivate it, to make sure that you shouldn't be going away?
Discomfort is where growth happens. Think about when you want to change your body, what it takes, how many reps and diet. It's a lot of hard work. But when it comes to relationships, I think people, they don't stay in it. They don't actually change the dynamic of the relationship. They get uncomfortable, and then they start looking over the fence, and then they start convincing themselves that this person isn't the one, and all of that. And here's the thing: if you keep doing that, you'll never swim past the breakers, and you'll never acquire the tools, right? You'll never be able to sustain a relationship. They'll all just kind of be short-lived.
So I have one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is your definition of true love?
Oh, wow. True love. that is, that, I mean, I don't know how I can say it in a short, I think true love is honest love. And I think it is a love that is honest to you with where you're at right now, right? Because we change. And as we change, our love buds, I call them love buds, our love buds change. And I don't think love is just kind of a one note. I think it's formless. I think it's always changing. And even in your relationship, right? The love that you and your partner are creating is always changing. It's like raising a child.
Yeah, it is. So Break Up on Purpose, you can get that now. You have a couple of other books too that I think people should know about because they seem pretty great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is book number 6.
This is incredible. John Kim, The Angry Therapist. You can get Break Up on Purpose, A Catalyst for Growth. Again, I'm just sending all of my biggest prayers and giant hugs to you guys in California and just holding you all close.
Thank you. That means a lot.
And you can catch all of the Bacon Bit interviews on our podcast network. Go to our website, myclallamcounty.com. Click on the Stations tab. You'll see a podcast sub-tab there. You can take a look at all of our podcasts we have available for you there.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP.
Harper Ridgeview and Squim Valley Funeral Chapel offer experience you can lean on and the compassion to ease your loss. Their job is to help families cope with loss of loved ones by removing the stress involved in planning funeral arrangements. All of the staff has a real heart for serving families and their needs in the most difficult of times. They truly realize the importance in what they're doing for the community. Squim Valley Funeral Chapel and Harper Ridgeview Funeral Chapel in Port Angeles, the caring support you'll need in your time of loss.
Stop by Paua Treasure Trap. We're located in the front of Easy Pond in downtown Port Angeles. We have a fun selection of gifts to choose from. Everything from our best-selling leather journals to anime figures and fun pop culture gifts. We also have hard-to-find collectible swords for fantastic displays. And you've got to check out our adult humor section in our front mezzanine that's full of not safe for work gag gifts guaranteed to spark laughter. Easy Pond in downtown Port Angeles. Thank you for 80 incredible years. This is News Radio KONP Port Angeles Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm with Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. More new moves by the Trump administration. The Pentagon now expected to deploy up to 1,500 troops to the U.S. southern border. And the Justice Department is telling employees to be on the lookout for efforts to block immigration enforcement.
The 3-page memo from a senior Justice Department official who previously served as a Trump defense lawyer directs U.S. attorneys to investigate and prosecute local and state officials who resist, obstruct, or otherwise fail to comply with federal immigration commands and requests. A number of senior career officials in the department have now been reassigned by the new leadership to a sanctuary cities enforcement task force. They've been told if they don't like it, they can leave.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy in Washington. President Trump is demanding an apology from the Episcopal Bishop of Washington. At the National Cathedral Monday, the Right Reverend Marianne Budde asked him to have mercy on illegal migrants and the LGBTQ+ community. In an overnight post, Trump claimed without evidence that she's a, quote, radical left hardline Trump hater.
I was trying to counter the narrative that is so divisive and polarizing, and in which real people are being harmed.
Bishop Budde speaking to ABC's The View. A new large wildfire in Southern California.
Because of the fire burning and turning day into night with the smoke, Interstate 5, the major highway going north out of L.A., is now closed. There are evacuations in place in the town of Castaic. That's just north of Santa Clarita. A large lake is protecting Castaic and seems to be holding the fire, but there's a huge plume of smoke over northern L.A. County.
ABC's Alex Stone. A deadly school shooting in Nashville today. Police say an Antioch High student shot 2 classmates, killing one of them, and then turned the gun on himself. Officials say a third student also suffered non-related injuries. You're listening to ABC News.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
I'm Lindsay Davis. For the latest on today's headlines, be sure to watch Prime tonight starting at 7 Eastern on ABC News Live. Now, more news.
A foot of snow leads the NBA to postpone tonight's game in New Orleans between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Pelicans. It's no big easy to clear when you don't have many plows. The new administration took down the Spanish language version of the official White House website. Replaced on the page was a button labeled Go Home, later updated to Go to Home Page. A judge could rule this week on DNA evidence that prosecutors say ties Brian Kohberger to the murders of 4 Idaho college students in 2022. Defense lawyers say the DNA was gotten illegally. ABC's Kana Whitworth.
Kohberger's attorneys now filing a petition to unseal evidence and make hearings public to combat what they say is an overwhelming public sentiment of his guilt.
Prosecutors say DNA was on a button snap of a knife sheath at the scene. Arrest following the burglary of Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow's home last month in Anderson Township, Ohio, include 4 people from Chile, police say. If you think your credit card debt is a burden, be glad you're not the Trump Health Secretary nominee, RFK Jr. His new personal financial disclosure form shows wealth of over $30 million, but liabilities up to about $12 million, with $1.2 million in credit card debt at a 23% interest rate. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. 457-6600. 6 new roundabouts are coming to Port Angeles. The city's $2.1 million grant application for design and construction of the mini traffic circles at intersections along Laurel, 6th, and East 2nd Streets has been approved. Construction expected to begin next year and will be funded entirely through state grants. Congratulations, Kendall Adolph and Axel Swanson. They were honored for their essays on patriotism in the Elks Americanism Essay Contest sponsored by the Sequim Elks Lodge. Their work now advances to the Western District level with potential to compete nationally.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 43. Easterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected again tonight. Lows dip down to about 34. Slight chance of rain showers tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 47. Cloudy skies expected. Partly cloudy skies Friday. Decreasing clouds by Saturday. Low 40s Friday. Mid 40s by Saturday. A peek at the extended shows, 45 Sunday, 47 Monday, and 47 on Tuesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 43 degrees.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people with their money, their relationships, their work, just about any and everything. I'm John Deloney, joined by my great friend Jade Warshaw, and we are taking your calls live, toll-free. And if you don't know what toll-free means, it's because you were born in the 2000s. But
all calls are toll-free, John.
I know. We're taking your calls, we're taking your emails, your texts, whatever you got going on. 888-825-5225. Actually, I said that wrong. You can't text that number, but you can contact us any way you want. You can contact us through the Ramsey Network app, but we're taking your call, 888-825-5225. And hey, while I got you, it would be a huge help to all of us if you will fill out the Ramsey survey. You can win a $500 gift card, but here's what the Ramsey survey is. We want to know what you like about this show. We want to know what you want to change about this show, what you want to hear more of, what are your favorite parts. Text survey to 33789. That's survey, S-U-R-V-E-Y, to 33789, or you can go to RamseySolutions.com/survey. Or if you're listening on podcast or YouTube, you can click the link in the descriptions, and we're going to put all the names in a big hat, and we're going to give you a $500 gift card if we draw your name out. So thank you for doing that for us. And BT Dubs, say nice things about us. Okay, let's go out to Sacramento, California, and talk to Julia. What's up, Julia?
Hi, good afternoon, guys. Hey, I really, it's such a pleasure to be able to speak with someone and get some advice.
You got it. Well, it's an honor to talk to you today. Thanks for calling. What's up?
Oh, thank you. I'm calling to get some advice on retirement, please. I'm 66. My husband, 67, and he's an automotive service director. So we do okay, but as you know, California is so expensive. We bought a home, and it appreciated in value, luckily, so we have a little bit of equity, but we still owe $300,000 on it. I mean, and we didn't buy it at a high price. You know, the thing is, we're still paying it off. He's working. I teach school. I'm not working right now, but I thought maybe it would be a good idea to move out of state and, you know, get somewhere less, and I could work, you know, as a teacher. Maybe I'm older, so it's hard to get a position. I already had an offer in Texas. I'm certified there for fourth grade. I turned it down because we were here, and I don't know. He just refuses to think about retirement. We have no savings. He's thinking he's going to get Social Security, keep working, put that money into the house payment. I said, well, what are you going to live on? You know, I thought maybe we could start a little business, like I'm not talking a dealership. I told him, because he said, oh, yeah, you have money for that. But I said,
well, I like the idea of you guys.
A coffee shop or a daycare.
Sure.
I like the idea of you guys moving out of an expensive area like California, because the truth is that's a cost of living you may not be able to maintain, but maybe living somewhere less expensive. You mentioned Texas. That could, you know, depending on the part of Texas, that could be good.
The problem about living in Texas is you're going to have to figure out how to spend that extra money because there's no state income tax there.
Hey.
I don't know how you're going to spend all that, Julia.
But there's a very high property tax.
Yeah, they do. I know. I know. There's the other side of that teeter-totter, but I just like taking my digs where I can get
I don't know. The thing is, he's also afraid that he won't be able to get a home at our age.
I know.
That he won't get a job.
Well, let's look at the facts. Like, let's look at the money, because right now it's like a bunch of question marks around our head. So you mentioned that he kind of has this plan of living off Social Security. Do you guys have any clue? Like, you're 67, or he's 67, so you're eligible. But if you begin taking it now, obviously you're taking it at a cut as opposed to waiting. So when you wait and take that later distribution, do you know how much it'll be?
No. About he's thinking about 35, a little less. Maybe.
Okay, so let's say it's 35. You can check in and find out what that number is going to be on the IRS. But then let's look at your budget. And so it's really about taking these numbers out of the air and getting solid facts of what it will be. Can it work? If it doesn't work, how much do we need to be earning? Does that make sense? And I think that's going to give you a lot of peace when you can find the facts around it.
It won't work. You're right. It won't work. I told him, what are you going to work on? If you put all your money,
do you know that, or are you guessing that?
Working.
Julia, do you know, or are you guessing? Do you have a budget?
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's what we need. So before we get off the call, we're going to set you up with Christian's going to pick up and get you an every dollar budget. And it's really just going to be you plugging in that income and then plugging in what you guys spend money on. You've got this mortgage. How much do you pay a month for the mortgage?
$3,000.
What? Okay, you're right. It's not going to work.
So, Julia, here's a common thing. I want you to know this. You're not crazy. Your husband's not crazy. Y'all are facing a very common dilemma that millions and millions of 60-plus-year-olds are facing, especially married couples. Is there's an ecosystem that has descended upon you the last 25 years, telling you that everything in your life is coming down. Everything's going to end. Yes. And you grew up in the era of Walter Cronkite and Tom Brokaw, folks that people trusted. And now that same ecosystem is telling you you're not going to have enough money, you're going to die, you got to move it all into silver and go. The whole world has shifted on your generation. My generation just assumes everybody's lying to me, even the people telling the truth. Your generation is stuck assuming these people are telling us the truth. It's all coming down. So, number one, I want you to know your fear is okay. It's normal. But also, as Jade said, here's what you desperately need with your husband. You all need actual facts. Remember this line, facts are your friend. You have made up a story in your head that you're too old to be a teacher. That is false. My mom is in her 70s, and she's still a college professor.
My dad's a teacher.
Wow.
He's 70.
You can do it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just a story, because when you were a kid, 60 years old felt like a million years. And now you're there. You're still fun, exciting. Your students love you. They could definitely use your wisdom.
No, it still feels like a million years.
I know. But listen, you and your husband, this idea of like, I don't know, I think Social Security, that's not enough. So instead of talking about, what are you going to do? We have to move. I want you to sit down and use this line with your husband. I need to know what our money situation is because I'm scared to death. Will you help me be less scared? And very few husbands will look at their wives when they say that and go, nah, I don't care. If you say, I need to know.
He thinks he's got it all planned, though. That's the
then
thing,
he needs to show
know?
you the plan. And if you use the words, I'm scared because I don't know the plan, I need to see the plan.
Okay, that's a good way to phrase it.
Okay. Because you're scared.
His parents were factory workers in General Motors. I mean, we grew up in Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah, of course.
So, everything was, I don't know, I want to say easy for lack of a better word.
Well, hold on.
Good.
You grew up in Detroit just like I grew up in Houston, and you grew up in Detroit when it was all golden and great, and it all went away overnight. And I grew up in Houston where Enron was the greatest thing in the world until one morning Enron didn't exist. And so you have both of those things going on. That it's just going to all work out, and then you also have that like understanding in your nervous system. There's a day when the factory shut down.
Okay.
You gotta address that fear with him, and then it's a math problem. You want to move to Texas? You want to move to North Carolina? You move wherever you're going to move. Jade was right. You can't afford $3,000 more.
I thought about Houston. I applied to Houston. I got a call.
Okay, listen. The world is desperate for great teachers, especially licensed teachers. So you're not going to have a problem getting a job. What you might have a problem doing is convincing your Californian husband to move somewhere else. So that's a whole different story.
And just remember, wherever you move, whatever housing situation you choose, you don't want that payment to be any more than 25% of your take-home pay.
That's right.
That's what's scaring the pants off you right now.
It's just too expensive. So we're going to send you every dollar. We're going to send you the budgeting tool, and we're going to send you Financial Peace University, the whole digital class. It's 9 lessons, and you and your husband commit to watching them together. And then you can sit down and talk about your plan together.
Mortgage rates have dropped, so if you're thinking about buying a home in the next year, contact your local Churchill mortgage team now, before more people are competing for the same houses. Churchill will help you do the math to be sure your budget is correct, making your home a blessing. Learn more at churchillmortgage.com.
This is a paid advertisement. NMLS ID 1591, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, Equal Housing Lender, 1749 Mallory Lane, Suite 100, Brentwood, Tennessee 37027.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade Warshaw. You know, with everything that's been going on, you might be feeling like you've gotten off track with your money. I mean, think about it. You're trying to stay on top of bills while also paying off debt and trying to save some money wherever you can. I mean, honestly, it's a lot. But I've got something that I believe is going to help you catch your breath. Dave Ramsey and I are hosting a free live stream on January 23rd. We're going to show you how to get back in control of your money and stay in control of your money no matter what's going on. Plus, we're teaming up with Rachel Cruz and George Camel for a live Q&A where you can finally get your money questions answered right then and there. And possibly my favorite part of the evening, the night of the live stream, you could win $4,000 in our cash giveaway. $4,000, man. Imagine what you could do with that money. All you need to do to enter the giveaway is just to register for the live stream. Easy. So go to RamseySolutions.com/livestream and sign up today. That's RamseySolutions.com/livestream to sign up today.
It's a new year. The slate is clean. And you've got your list of goals for 2025. But I'm pretty sure there's something you left off. Your will. I've been telling you for years that making your will is a top priority. So don't put it on your to-do list. Just do it. Now, go to MamaBearLegalForms.com and use the promo code Ramsey to save an additional 20%. That's promo code Ramsey at MamaBearLegalForms.com.
Imagine being excited about Mondays. What if, instead of waking up depressed and discouraged, you were actually excited for work? Knowing your purpose is the key to escaping your meaningless 9 to 5, to increasing your income, and to finding work you love. That's why I created the Get Clear assessment, to help you discover what you do best, what work you love to do, and the results that fire you up, and jobs that would be a tremendous fit for you. After completing this quick assessment, you'll finally learn what truly drives you, so Mondays don't have to suck ever again. The assessment will help you create a purpose statement so you can discover countless ways to do meaningful work in your career. The truth is, nothing's going to change until you decide to take action. And don't just take it from me. With over 100 five-star reviews, people just like you are getting clear on what they were born to do and finding work that gives them purpose. To order your Get Clear assessment, go to RamseySolutions.com today.
Are you wondering where your money goes every month? You work too hard to be living paycheck to paycheck. It's time to get gazelle intense about making a change, and we want to help you build a future you can be excited about. Our all-time best-selling book, The Total Money Makeover, is going to help you take control of your money. You'll learn 7 organized, easy-to-follow steps that will lead you out of debt, help you build wealth, secure your future. Plus, you'll be inspired by the real-life stories from folks just like you who have learned how to put these principles into action and change their family tree. I've heard so many debt-free screams over the years from people that won with money, and so many of them started with this book. So what are you waiting for? It's time for your Total Money Makeover. Get it today in the online store at RamseySolutions.com or call us at 888-22-PEACE. That's RamseySolutions.com or 888-227-3223.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. Are you ready? Tomorrow night is Ramsey's biggest free live event of the year. Take control of your money. It's a live stream coming directly into your house. 350,000 people are registered and ready to do something different with their money and their lives.
Wow.
Jade Warshaw and Dave Ramsey are going to give you the practical steps and motivation you need to find more margin in your budget and get out of debt so you can start building incredible wealth. Here's the deal. Election's over. You woke up and you looked yourself in the mirror, and you are still you. And you got online and looked at your checking account, it is still what it is. You look at your savings account, it is still what overdrawn. You look at your savings and your heart stops. I understand. I've been there, not wanting to call anybody, not wanting to ask anybody's help. We are bringing the live stream to your living room. There's no excuse. It's free. We're going to bring it to you. So go right now, sign up at RamseySolutions.com/livestream. We're also going to give away several different iterations of $4,000 in cash, up to 20 grand. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So 5 times, different iterations, meaning five different times,
people.
we're going to give away $4,000. And we had a rehearsal today. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be good.
Very cool, dude. So get in there. Create a free EveryDollar account to get a bonus entry into the giveaway. We'll be using EveryDollar during the live stream to show you how to take control of your money.
Yes.
And again, can I restate this? It's all free.
It's free. And I would just like to add, because I know we have like repeat visitors, like maybe you went to the live stream last year. I also want to say we're showing EveryDollar, but we're also answering all your money questions.
That's right.
Like we're talking about how to get out of debt. We're talking about a little bit about investing. George and Rachel are joining us later, and we're going to do a Q&A. So this will be worth your while. Trust me. It's going to be really, really, really good.
And I don't care how much money you have, how much money you make.
Okay.
This is for you.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll out to Pittsburgh and talk to Emily. What's up, Emily?
Hi, I'm so blessed to be speaking with you guys today. I've been kind of struggling with this question. It's more of a family matter than mine personally, but I'm really looking to get your insight on it. So we had estranged family members for like the last 15 years that recently reached out within the last 2 weeks because one of them passed away and the other needs financial support, but they're not explicitly looking for it. So basically what it looks like is the relation to me is that my grandmother passed away and my uncle had been living with my grandmother, and it was just the two of them for the last period of time. And my uncle basically had no job, so they were living off of her Social Security and her life insurance that we found after she passed, and essentially there's nothing left. And he's dropping hints to us as the family saying, well, I don't know how I'm going to, like, make these payments. I don't know, like, where my grocery bills are coming from. He's not explicitly asking for things, but it's the way that he's phrasing things that is making us concerned that he's looking to us to be his savior.
I wouldn't be concerned at all. Like, because I know how I know how he can get his groceries paid for. He can get a job. Ta-da.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he says that he can get a job. He's not sure that he's going to be working because he does have a health condition
What is
that
it?
is prohibiting him. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know all of the details on exactly what it is. I personally don't even believe that it is a health condition. I think he's just trying to use it as a guilt trip.
Exactly.
But that's my personal view on that. I don't have the facts.
You're probably right.
But
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Why are you letting this person you haven't talked to in 15 years suddenly have a voice at your kitchen table about your integrity, your character, what you do next? Like, why are you giving him a voice?
It's a moral issue. Like, I always want to try and be like the best that you can be, right? And so I see this person that needs help because they were honestly just poor planners. They put themselves in this position, and I get that. But I'm also kind of like the person that's like, well, I do have a little bit that I could contribute towards this.
What would you?
But I don't want to.
What would that be?
Yeah, I don't.
What would that be if you did help him? What would that look like?
It would probably look like, well, maybe I can give you like so much money towards like her burial or something like that because they're struggling even to come up with funds for that.
Okay. Listen, if you wanted to, this is grandma, right? That we're talking about. If you wanted to help, grandma's funeral costs, I think that's fine. I don't, that part I don't have an issue with, but Uncle Boo Boo is the one that I'm like, okay, what would it look like for you to help him? In your mind, if you thought, this is my job to step up and help him, what would that have been? Or what would that be in your mind's eye?
I think what I'm looking for would be just like knowing that I didn't just leave him and that he's just withering away with nothing.
No, but he hasn't even asked you.
No, he hasn't. And I guess that's kind of where a part of my struggle is coming from, too, is that he's not asking for it, but I think he's too proud to ask for help.
Well,
but I think he needs it, and I don't know another direction to point him in.
How old is he?
He's probably, I want to say 62.
Where's your parents? Where's your mom or dad?
They're right there with him, and they're trying to kind of keep distance as well. They don't want to be the ones that are saving him either, but I think they're looking at, they're asking the same question. What is our obligation? What should we be doing as Christians? What should we be doing just as family members? I mean, to me, he truly is a stranger, but even a stranger on the street, I'd like to assume I would help.
Yeah, there's two things that are going through my mind here. Number one, I would take my cues from a struggling uncle's brother and sister. That would be number one. So I would look to my mom and dad because they're going to know, or whoever he's related to, they're going to know better than I do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The second thing is I am all about helping and supporting and walking alongside and being there for the people on the margins in our world. I also have been humbled dramatically over the last 20 years because of my arrogance and my savior syndrome.
Okay.
And so when you see somebody that you in your head tell yourself a story that he needs this, this, and this, and I could be the person to come, that's less about Christian value, and that's more about you in a weird way using him to make yourself feel whole and okay. He hasn't asked you for help. He hasn't said, we need your help. He's done some passive-aggressive-y dribbling of things here and there. And I would leave that to my mom or my dad, his brother or his sister, to step in and say, hey, man, what do you actually need? Like, let them have that communication together. And maybe if I was in your case, I'd probably reach out to my dad or to my mom, whoever's closest, and say, hey, we're in a position where we could contribute $500 or $1,000 to the funeral if y'all need that. Mm-hmm. And I'd go that way instead of going to basically a stranger, a guy who opted out of his niece's life for a decade and a half before I need to go in there and feel like I need to save the situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that does make sense.
There's also an issue of this just on the financial side of it, that the reason I was asking you before, what would that look like, is because sometimes we get in moments where like, okay, if I'm going to help them and what we're trying to help them do is really not sustainable in long run, it's not helping at all. Like if the issue is he doesn't have income coming in and he's not looking to get income coming in, you stepping in and paying an electric bill 1 month long term is not really a sustainable thing. So it's like, okay, what can we do? What would it look like to help in a real way that's long term? Well, that's probably going to help him find options for him to work, right? So just reframing, if you did want to help, what that help would be. It might not actually be financially, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that's kind of what I was kind of sitting on, but I was really debating because, like, I feel sorry for him because of the situation that he put himself in.
Right.
And that's what I'm struggling with. Like, he did it to himself, but I can help sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to help all the time. Like you said, I don't want this to be a long-term thing because, as he so nicely put, he did opt out.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like this struggle, which, again, was why I was blessed to be speaking with OTV today, because it's just such an internal struggle for me.
Yeah. I would work through my parents, and just know that feeling uncomfortable does not mean your decision is wrong.
That's right.
Thank you.
If you're a person of compassion, like hopefully all of us are, anybody who's hurting, and we'll go one step further. Okay, so we'll help out here, Emily. Hang on the line. We're going to send you an electronic version of Financial Peace University. If the call ever comes that, hey, I need some help with some of this stuff, you can say, hey, we got you. I'll send you Financial Peace University, Uncle, for free. And here's all 9 lessons, and it's going to walk you step by step how to take control of your financial future.
That's
and
great.
That way you're giving him a fishing rod and some bait and a place to fish. But he's going to have to bait the hook and actually throw the line in the water. Thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
You know, every year I hear the same excuses for why people don't get the life insurance they need to protect their families. So this year, let's clear the air and look at the facts. Most people are concerned about price, but term life rates have never been lower. Having 10 to 12 times your income on a 15 or 20-year plan is, in many cases, just plain cheap. Second, life insurance through your work is not enough, especially since these plans go away if you change jobs. You need to have your own policy so you're not without protection when your family really needs it. Third, Stay-at-home parents need life insurance, especially those with young kids. People don't realize how quickly the costs add up without someone at home taking care of things. So no more excuses, folks. Get the protection your family needs. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282. They've been my choice for all my insurance for over 25 years and are the only people I trust.
Everyone deserves the opportunity to thrive. That's why United Way mobilizes the caring power of neighbors, businesses, and community partners to lead transformational change here in Clallam County. From strengthening local resilience to advancing health, youth opportunity, and financial security, we're working towards a future where everyone can reach their full potential. Join us in leading the way to a better future for all by donating at tinyurl.com/UnitedWayClallam.
The agents at RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate will work for you, looking out for your interests every step of the way. Nobody in the world sells more real estate. Now is the time, and RE/MAX Evergreen should be your choice. Call one of our experienced agents, Mark DeRosie, Margaret Womack, Sean Washburn, Heidi Hampton, Dylan Washburn, Jenna Lee Atwood, Angie Matthews, or Holly Locke. 457-6600. Trust the name you know and trust the agents who care at RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. With so many choices for deliveries, how convenient is it that you've got an option for the perfect cup of Joe too? Fogtown Coffee in Port Angeles delivers. We offer a no-cost delivery for orders to businesses of $20 or more within city limits. Call 360-504-3509 for delivery or download the Joe Coffee app. Just text coffee to 474747 and order ahead for store pickup. You can even schedule a specific time. Fogtown Coffee on Front Street, your front door coffee delivery headquarters.
Tri-State Roofing is celebrating the grand pre-opening in Sequim. Tri-State specializes in more than just roofs, siding, gutters, patio covers, and doors. And the best part is, we got you covered with incredible financing. Project now and pay later, much later. Zero down payment, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 18 months on approved credit. Experience the Tri-State way. We've got you covered 24/7. Call 253-ROOFING.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
This Sunday, Westwood One brings you the NFL Conference Championships. First, it's the NFC title game. Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles face Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. Then Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills travel to Kansas City to renew their rivalry with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
KONP is your radio headquarters for the NFL playoffs. Catch the NFC and AFC championships beginning at 11 o'clock Sunday morning.
If you're taking a calcium supplement, it's probably not doing what you think it is. That's because you still lose bone density with traditional calcium supplements. That's where calcium from algae comes in. AlgaeCal Plus doesn't just stop bone loss. It's the only supplement ever shown to increase bone density in clinical studies. That's right, AlgaeCal Plus increases bone density, even if you're in your 80s. That's because your bones need more than just calcium and vitamin D to stay strong. There are actually 13 minerals and 3 vitamins needed to build healthy new bone, and AlgaeCal Plus contains all of them, and it's proudly made in the USA. Your calcium doesn't increase bone density. AlgaeCal Plus does. Talk to one of our bone health consultants today and see how AlgaeCal Plus can start increasing your bone density. Call now.
800-395-7074. 800-395-7074. 800-395-7074. That's 800-395-7074.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. The House has just given final passage to an immigrant detention bill, sending President Trump the first law he can sign.
The yeas are 263 and the nays are 156. The bill passed.
The measure would detain undocumented immigrants who've been charged with various crimes. A deadly shooting at Antioch High School in Nashville today. Police say a 17-year-old killed one student, wounded another, then killed himself. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
The White House says President Trump and his team are monitoring the news out of Nashville, and they offer heartfelt thoughts and prayers to those impacted and thank the first responders at the incident. Police say a 17-year-old boy opened fire at a Nashville high school, killing one student and wounding a second. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
A new mandatory wildfire evacuation order in Southern California. 19,000 people for a new fire. Wall Street indexes gained. This is ABC News.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. High temperatures reach up to 43 this afternoon under mainly cloudy skies, easterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, lows around 34. Slight chance of rain showers. Tomorrow, high temperatures reach up to 47, cloudy skies expected. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 43 degrees.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. I'm John Deloney, joined by Jade Warshaw. Let's go out to Dallas, Texas, and talk to Mary. What's up, Mary?
Mary!
Oh, whoops, I pushed the wrong button. I'm not the smartest
That's all right.
guy. What's up, Mary?
Hi.
How's it going? I pushed the wrong button, sorry. James is rolling his eyes in there at me. I'm getting better, James, I promise. What's up, Mary?
Hi, it's going good. So we moved to Dallas, Texas last summer. My husband's work relocated us here. There was no way out of it. He tried to find another job in California and was unsuccessful. And so now we're here. We're in the Frisco, Texas area.
Yep.
I'm just wondering if this was a good move because the houses are expensive here. It just seems expensive, and we're currently renting right now, and we rented our house in California, and we have some savings, but the houses are just expensive.
Did you guys do any research before you loaded up the truck and
moved to Beverly?
We did, but I mean, we move or my husband doesn't have a job, and then I would be the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like it's about houses, though, because it's expensive in California, too. This sounds like you haven't found a community or a connection or there's a cultural fit or something like that. It's okay to say we moved and we tried something and we don't like it. That's